And hello and welcome everyone to the Comic Multiverse, where the worlds of nerd meet. Matt, we're back again Saturday night here with all of our friends. Counting down the days, Matt. We're almost at the end of the month. We got a new Star Wars movie to look forward to. I'm very excited. I didn't have it last week, but I was sure to actually bring my Star Wars Mandalorian and Grogu. I got the Mando one, which I think is probably the most sought after one. I'm probably going to have Burger King again before the movie because I really need to get the Grogu one. I need to get the matching pair. I think there's a Zeb one too, and there's a red one I'm not sure about. Probably whatever the villain is for the movie.
Nice. Well, as I said last week, we've got fuck all over here. They have just started doing like popcorn buckets and stuff. You get the but
of course
the Grogu carrier pod thing as a popcorn bucket, and like that's it.
I saw some items there. Oh god, it's probably on my Twitter where they're like, "Oh, try your new Mandalorian snacks." Where it's like, I think in some markets they actually brought back the blue milk, which makes a lot of sense. And then I think there was like, you know those things where it's like they're cookies, but they're shaped like ice cream cones and everything?
Oh, yeah.
They have a Grogu version of that where it's like, oh, Grogu swamp treats. And I'm like, that's actually pretty funny. Again, God only knows where the hell you can actually buy these items.
Oh, it'll be some gas station exclusive, like a small unknown chain.
Right, or probably in different countries. Okay, yeah, here we go. There's what we have so far. The blue milk, there's actual blue Grogu Nilla wafers that actually look like his little cookies from the show. And I'm like, that's smart. That's a good team up, actually.
You just make those little cookies because I think they're just like macaroons or something. They look like macaroons.
Yeah.
They're just blue.
Yeah, with some blue food coloring there. True Moo, which is a brand I've never seen about, and Puffs Gummies, which I think basically just look like, they're off-brand Nerds gummy clusters is all they are. Again, Star Wars, Disney, come on, you really need to be upping your game on this one. Remember back in the day, all the merchandising there was?
I know, there's like barely been anything for this movie.
It's a little worrying, is it? Where I'm like, oh no, have you guys like already lost faith on this and it's not even out yet?
Yeah. I have been seeing early social media reviews of it, and they all use the word fun to describe it, which usually when a movie you say that about a movie in like a first review, it's like ooh, I don't know.
It sounds like basically your fear has come to pass, and it's like, so does this movie, do a good job escaping just being a long episode of the TV show? And the general consensus is, no, not really. No. But if you like the show and were invested in it, you'll probably enjoy it. I mean, I'm just going to enjoy seeing a Star Wars movie in the theaters again, because it's been a minute.
It has been, 7 or 8 years, 9 years, almost a decade.
Yeah. And then you hear the rumors, too, where it's like, well, there was actually supposed to be an Ahsoka Mandalorian crossover, maybe for the next season of her show that's coming in 2027, but it seems that they're not going to do that now, and I'm like, so we're just giving up on multimedia for these projects, huh?
I guess it's going to be interesting to see what Filoni does now that he's in charge, because, right. Are we just going to have just constant Ahsoka, constant Clone Wars stuff?
I mean, that's what's popular. And I had the moment, too, where it's like, as much as I loved Maul, I'm like, man, this is awesome. And then in the back of my mind, I'm like, you guys are really running out of room in this time period is what you're doing. Especially because, hey, another thing they announced this week is that Charles Soule is going to be writing the third in what ended up being a trilogy of his Kylo Ren stories. And I'm like, wow, that's so awesome. Also, hey, if you keep filling in all of this in comics, does that mean we're never gonna get a Clone Wars level animated project in the sequel trilogy timeline?
Yeah,
that could maybe adapt these and animate this. It just feels weird that all of this is gonna live in comics, and if they ever decide to do anything animated, are they going to have their hands tied?
It's very frustrating because it's like you're filling all this stuff in with the comics, and but they all do like all the multimedia stuff for like the Clone Wars era, early Empire era, and it's like, no, we got to move on. We just got to push on into the new stuff and just do it, make it good, and people will like it.
Yeah, right. You either got to move all the way forward, or you gotta move back. You gotta really invest in the High Republic and all that other stuff.
Well,
and then you're hearing
yeah.
they had High Republic projects in the works, but then they decided not to do it. Like, there was supposed to be a whole big new RPG game in the High Republic that they ended up scrapping.
Yes, Star Wars: The New Republic, which was to be a sequel to the Old Republic MMO that's still around, and EA was like, "No, we don't want to do that." I'm like, "You're just leaving money on the table. What the fuck?"
And again, you gotta do something, guys. KOTOR was so important for a whole generation, getting them into Star Wars, maybe if they had never even watched the movies before, because the game was so cool and interesting, and it let you live in that world. Yeah, I like Jedi Survivor, Fallen Order, etc., but those are like 2 games that come out sparingly. Like, there needs to be more ways here, guys. There needs to be more ways to get into this.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, I know they're doing a pod racer and they're doing that, real-time strategy thing, which will probably be good. But also it's like, damn, why aren't there more Star Wars games? We should really be inundated with way more Star Wars games, shouldn't we?
Star Wars games, just more multimedia stuff. It's just all being done in comics, which if they end up coming back to in live action, they're just going to overwrite.
Yeah, right. That's the thing I'm worried about, where it's like, eventually you guys are going to run out of road here. And that's nothing against Charles Soule. I love Charles Soule. I think when everything is said and done, he will probably end up being one of the most important voices, one of the most important architects in this era of Star Wars, because it's all basically him and his team and their bull sessions and everything there. What is even Fall of Kylo Ren supposed to be about? Because we had the origin of Kylo Ren that got kind of cut short by the movie, because they're like, yeah, this might not actually be canon by the time we make the movie. Then there was that last Kylo Ren series that tries to bridge the gap between Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. What's Fall supposed to be about?
I don't know. That's what I'm intrigued about. I have to imagine it's just a follow-up on that Legacy of Vader series.
Right.
Because from the art we've seen like Tava Ren, which was the other Ren who was the leader of the Knights of Ren. Is see all these people that Charles Soule has played with before. So I'm like, how are they connecting this up? Because again, not a lot of room between these movies to do all this sort of stuff.
No, you guys are kind of running out of road, and they took it away from you once before, because they're like, hey, remember when we told you you'd get to write the origin story? Well, we don't actually know how much of this is going to matter, or how much this is going to be canon in the end, sorry. Which is wild to me, that's like, so that series ended being short for that reason. And then you hear, like, they want to bring Kylo back. There was, like, talk where it's like, we were going to have, like, the return of, Ben Solo. We were totally going to do this thing. And I'm like, oh, that would be fun. And a lot of people, lost their shit where it's like, oh, does dead not mean dead in this universe? How could they possibly bring him back? I'm like, same way they brought back Maul and Asajj and all these other characters. Night Sister... Yeah, Night Sister magic is the be-all, end-all, and no, this is like DC Comics now. No one ever stays dead forever in this universe.
No, and it's something that's always been in Star Wars, even in the old Legends universe stuff. Yeah,
through the power of clones and other such bullshit, no one ever has to stay dead forever. Even Thrawn, even when we throw your ass to the other way, the other side of the galaxy, which it's like, well, that's got to be better than dead, right? No, actually. Somehow Thrawn returns. And he'll do it again. God, do you think, what is it, that new Mando movie, is there going to be a post-credit? Do you think there's going to be a thing to be like, oh, get excited for this? Probably not, because that's another thing I read in the reviews, too, where they're like, oh, it doesn't move the Star Wars saga forward. And I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean? Yeah. Now, moving it forward. You can't move this forward, because this is already in the past. We had movies set in the future, and you all started kicking a fit about it, so now we can only tell these little side quels.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to amount to anything. I still fully believe that this was meant to be a season of television, and they're like, we'll just make it a movie.
And it's also, too, where it's like, these were movies, now they were TV. I mean, are you expecting all of these to be, like, goddamn the Avengers now? Where it's like, oh, here's the new Thanos for Star Wars. Yeah. Here's the new thing that we're all leading up to. I'm like, well, it was never like that before. Why are you expecting it to be like that now? That's a weird way to deal with these things.
Yeah, it's just that modern blockbuster movie franchise
mentality
thing that they have to do now. But but I'm fine with it like being a small contained thing. It's just them trying to
Same.
like make it seem like it's like they're advertising it as it's more than just the TV show, where it's like it's not really not.
It's kind of just the TV show, which I mean, like, that's fine. That was like a common thing. It's like, you've seen the show, now see the movie. I mean, friggin' Serenity and Firefly, that's basically all that was.
Yep.
Here's a big, long, expensive episode of the show. And I mean, I guess we kind of kill a character and we explain what the Reavers are, etc., etc. If you want to get really, technical about it. All right, we want to talk about the news this week, Matt. We want to hop on into it?
Yeah.
All right, here. So starting things off with a surprising piece of news that kind of warmed my heart. Absolute Green Arrow, which I believe comes out this week as we record this.
Yes, it does.
Yes, well, the numbers are in, and apparently this one broke all sort of DC pre-sales records. This one had like $1.4 million worth of pre-sales, which actually puts it more or less on par with Absolute Batman, which is fucking insane to think about, that a Green Arrow book has enough hype around it because of the Absolute universe that people, were ready to pre-order it in such numbers.
Yeah, no, people want it, and like the plot for it, the plot synopsis for it is great. Green Arrow killing Epstein billionaires. That's fucking cool. And
Love it.
He's kind of like a serial killer. That's so fucking awesome. Yeah.
And Black Canary is, let's face it, basically the real heroic character in all of this.
Yeah.
Which honestly, that's a fun way to do it, actually. And, hey, there's mystery where it's like, hey, is this really Ollie back as a ghost? Or, is this Roy or his son? What's going on here?
Yeah.
Is this how we introduce the Absolute Spectre? What's going on here? I wonder. Lot of intrigue in the book before we even start. That too, in that Absolute Catwoman book, I'm like, you know what? I appreciate, what is it that they're like, these all don't need to be long. Some of these can be short. Some of these can be minis. Yeah.
I am looking forward to some of them just like ending, and then maybe we'll see those characters a little later on down the line, a la Martian Manhunter. I think that's the whole idea with this Absolute line. I think Scott Snyder has said he doesn't want to like balloon it out to like 10 books or something. He wants to keep it like
smart,
relatively small, so people can like read all of them and not feel like they're being like bombarded.
Clever, man. Friggin' clever. That might very well end up being the way to go.
It's the perfect way, because we've seen like the other end of that with the fucking Krakoa X-Men books, where every other week there was the new fucking X-Men book being announced, to the point where it was just getting, okay, we can't, there's like 20 books going on at the moment.
It's like, yeah, I admit this is good. These will also probably be good, but I only have so much money in my bank and only so many hours in the day. I can't possibly keep up with all of these, especially when they were all dropping on the same week.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I definitely think they learned from that problem there. Tenro in the chat with a funny one. Now, Joel, how many of those Green Arrows did you order for yourself? Next question. Yeah, I'm single-handedly the one keeping up all Green Arrow books. Look, I will match any price you have. I will take that price and I will double it. And hey, speaking of titles, actually, we last week we talked about Marvel Midnight. We were cautiously optimistic, if a little reticent. It's like, this is weird timing to announce a brand new imprint when, the Ultimate Universe isn't even cold and dead in the ground yet. And also, yeah, hey, we're doubling down on horror. Isn't that what the Absolute guys did? No, it's completely different. What are you talking about? It's a completely different, unrelated thing. We had theorized there where it's like, okay, is this maybe a place for stuff like Incredible Hulk and Immortal Hulk and Moon Knight and, all these other successful horror franchises to live afterwards? No, actually, the idea seems to be, let us take these ideas that have served Marvel horror books so well recently, and it has. You can't really take that away from them. Let's take those ideas and apply them to, 3 big popular flagship series. So our first 3 titles are going to be Midnight X-Men, Midnight Fantastic Four, and Midnight Spider-Man from Hickman, Benjamin Percy, and Philip Kennedy Johnson, respectively. And we got the pitches for the series. We actually got some art for Midnight X-Men, and I mean, yeah, it looks kind of cool. It sounds all right. Cool. These are okay pitches, but at the end of in the back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, these are cool, but they're also really familiar. I feel like I have seen everything before you're talking about, where it's like, hey, what if the X-Men fought vampires and became vampires? Wolverine fought Dracula a bunch in the Krakoan era. Jubilee was a vampire for a bit. Feels like we've been here, guys.
Yeah, again, like what we said last week, it does feel like they're playing catch up to the Absolute Universe, but not realizing what in the Absolute Universe is working for that.
Yeah, no, people like them because they were scary and adult tinged and everything. I'm like, yeah, that's one of the reasons people like them, but people like them because they were accessible and exciting, and you didn't know what was going to happen next. And much like your own Ultimate Universe that you killed in its infancy, actually pretty biting socio-political commentary that made you feel smart for reading and everything. I mean, are you going to have any of this attached to the project? I don't know.
Yeah, judging by how like Ultimates is coming to an end and we're seeing the end of that universe, I don't think it's going to have any of that on it.
Which is really disappointing, because that was like one of the few times where it's saying, no, but both you companies were actually firing on, the right cylinders here. Both of you guys were saying the right thing. And with Marvel, some of the decisions they made in some of their other multimedia projects, the end of Daredevil, certain things in the new Punisher special, and things that John Bernthal has said in interviews has made me go, Marvel, are you guys okay? Are you guys all right? Do I need to call someone?
Oh, I'm sure we'll talk about Punisher One Last Kill a little later on.
Yeah, we'll save that for last. We have anything else to say about Marvel Midnight? Like, yeah, these could work. These sound fun, but they also sound like shit we've seen before. Like, oh, what if Fantastic Four was scary? What if Galactus in space was Cthulhu? Yeah, you guys did that.
Yeah, you've done all of that sort of stuff. Kind of reminds me of when, do you remember, it would have been probably about 3 or 4 years ago, they did those whole Darkhold series of like, it was like Darkhold, Iron Man, Darkhold,
yes,
Scarlet
I do.
Witch and stuff. And it's like, yeah, that's basically what they're doing here, where it's like a horror tinge to like characters who usually aren't horror.
Hey, remember the Sinister Spider-Man? Remember Spider's Man and Man Spider? This sounds exactly what you're doing with the Spider-Man book. Hey, what if instead of, being a regular man with spider powers, what if he was a gross monster invented by Oscorp? And I'm like, yeah, it's a pitch, but it also sounds like something we've seen before. You guys are going to have to work so hard to sell me on these.
They need to do the opposite, where like a spider gets bitten by a radioactive man or something. It starts changing into like the Spider-Man.
I thought you were going to say there, hey, instead of chasing horror and, dystopia and the adult tinge of it, what they should have done, Marvel, is gone the opposite way, where it's like, okay, in the Absolute Universe, everything is dark and sad. In our new Marvel Universe, everything is actually cool and happy, and everything is working out for everybody. Oh, no, wait, we can't do that because the essence of drama is conflict. People wouldn't actually like that at all. That would actually be fucking terrible.
Just take the Star Trek approach to it, where it's like, oh yeah, we're living in like a utopian society. There can't be conflict. How do we work these stories and use that as like a creative force?
Experience. We're all chasing experience now.
Yeah.
Which actually they kind of did that too. Remember, it was like a weird one-shot thing, Gotham Utopia, where it was like a weird look sideways to a future where like Batman had an all-white costume and Gotham was like safe and clean and everything.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, I can see why that only lasted one issue. I don't even remember like what the driving force behind that was. Like, yeah, what if Gotham was nice, eh? What about that?
Yeah, it was like... It was called Gothtopia or something, and it was like an event.
Yeah, that was the one.
It was like a whole event it was like a weird event. Yeah.
But it was very weird because it was just like one-shot issues that you had to read.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think they ever had I'm looking it up here. They never had the actual Batman ongoing book. It was everything else but that Batman ongoing book.
Yeah, because we're not going to fuck with the Batman ongoing because, that one makes money and is popular.
Yeah.
Which is also another thing which I think of when I think of these Marvel Midnight titles, where it's like, okay, are you doing this in a side universe for Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, X-Men, because you don't want to upset the apple cart, is what you don't want to do, where it's like, well, these books, they're not underselling, but, they're not as exciting as they could be, so we're going to do this over here to put a horror tinge on books that, people would freak their shit if we actually ever tried to move these stories into those kinds of directions.
Yeah, I just don't see how like any of this is gonna like, because again, it just feels like they're just copying Absolute and not realizing what makes Absolute so good, and they're just gonna think that that's gonna work, and when it doesn't, is going to be like everything else Hickman has written recently, where it's like, I'll
Right.
give you like a year and a half, and then we'll cancel it. You know, Ultimates, the fucking Imperial Marvel Cosmic stuff, yeah.
Hey, remember that one-off Wolverine book he did as well? No,
Yeah.
I don't think you do. I don't. I stopped reading it after one issue.
It just sucks because it was drawn by Greg Capullo too.
Right? Yeah, like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, Hickman is so washed. No, he isn't, of course. He's still one of the best working guys in the industry right now. But I do have to wonder, is he a little tired? I'm like, hey, this is your second big new publishing initiative in, like, how many years?
Yeah, I'd love to see like DC offer him something to come over and do something with that. Give him Justice League or something.
That was my theory too, where I'm like, look, are they putting him on this new Midnight Project because they're afraid to lose him? Is that why?
Yeah, they just want to keep him working.
Yeah. Is this like some weird like contractual thing where it's like, we want to keep you working, Hickman, and we'll give you more artistic freedom on this one, and you can do even more of what you want, and we'll pay you more or whatever. I don't know what he gets paid, but I can only assume he gets paid well.
Yeah, well, I hope so.
Yeah, for everything that he does. But then again, it's comics, so you don't know. Maybe they don't.
Yeah.
Now, also, Matt, we have to be careful when we say things like, oh, this Marvel Midnight sounds very familiar to what they're doing at Absolute, because a certain type of person online gets weirdly pissy when you say that.
Yes. Yeah,
I've noticed.
I don't know why.
Actually, the Ultimate Universe in Marvel totally came first before Absolute, so if anything, they ripped them off. And then, of course, you hear Scott Snyder being like, well, actually, we were developing Absolute like 2 years before the new Ultimates hit the shelf, and in fact, when Ultimate beat us with what they were doing with the Maker and the remade world and everything, apparently, they almost didn't come out with Absolute as it is. Apparently, they said, we almost thought, actually, we should go back and retool this and rework it to make it different, but they didn't. They put it out as was, and look what happened.
It's that age-old thing of like we see with people, comic Twitter and all that stuff, where they think that like if a comic is coming out this week, it must have been written last week.
Yeah, right. No, this shit's in development for a very long time, and clearly Absolute was in development for a long time.
Very long time, yeah.
And again, I'm like, do people not have eyes? Do you not see the correlation here where, Absolute, one of the many weapons in its arsenal was that it embraced, horror designs and, horror ideas, everything. And here's Marvel Midnight being like, we can be horror too. I mean, obviously lots of other things went into Absolute success, but like, looking at it from like the most dismissive, diminishing, most base thing, yeah, those books look horror inspired.
Yeah, they absolutely do.
Now we'll know for certain when we finally get some art from this, and maybe Spider-Man will be huge and swole. We'll see then.
Yeah, and the spider symbol is just like really blocky.
Yeah. As Mike in the chat brings up, and he's 100% right, it's like Armageddon and Deep Impact coming out at the same time, and that happens all the time in Hollywood. You're absolutely right. What is it? Dante's Peak and Volcano, two movies that came out the exact same time. This happens quite a lot in Hollywood, especially in the movie industry, because scripts will be around in Hollywood for a lot of time. People will read them, they'll pass on them, etc., etc. Some studios will option them, get the right to do it, and then another studio gets like, antsy about it, and they're like, oh shit, we should have our own version of that. Quick, rush out a similar concept to this so, we can try and beat them to the punch and everything.
This also happened, it happens all the time, even in recently in comics, where like Scott Snyder's Justice League book, kind of like the plot sort of kind of matched up with what Jason Aaron was doing over in Avengers.
Right. Yeah, sometimes there's just something in the water. Hell, Red Hood and Bucky the Winter Soldier came back basically a couple weeks apart from each other, and yeah, very similar, right? What are the odds?
Yep.
Yeah, Mike too saying White House down, Olympus has fallen. Yeah, there's a bunch of movies where you can be like, yeah, they had the exact same plot.
Yep.
Hell, that episode of South Park where Cartman tries to sneak into the Special Olympics because he thinks he can win, and that Johnny Knoxville movie, The Ringer, where he sneaks into the Special Olympics thinking he can win. Which, hilariously, I think the South Park guys are like, yeah, we had come up with that idea early on in the show, and we thought it was too stupid. We made it the B plot in an episode about Jimmy using steroids there. You guys made a whole movie about it.
A whole very questionably problematic movie.
Actually, they let a bunch of special needs actors do their thing, and apparently Johnny Knoxville was very good with them, and I think, they dispense with the uglier part of that joke right away. I think, literally, 15 minutes into it when he's trying to win the Special Olympics, the special people pull him aside and start beating the shit out of Johnny Knoxville. They're like, hey, you're a fake, you're a phony. Shockingly, a movie called The Ringer with Johnny Knoxville even back then knew, we probably shouldn't punch down, actually. we should probably actually have Johnny Knoxville's character instantly get any comeuppance. But yeah, so the last piece of news we had this week, Fury of Firestorm, issue 2 came out this week. I have not had a chance to read it yet, but surprise, surprise, the run of this story has actually been extended. It was supposed to be short. It was only supposed to be 6 issues, but now they have extended it all the way to 9. Holy shit.
Apparently that first issue did really well, and judging by views on my channel, it did very well.
Likewise, yeah, the children hunger for Firestorm, Matt. It has been written in the stars. They long for it. They long for Ronnie Raymond and Dr. Stein.
Now the children.
Yes, and that's a good story title right there. They long for the nuclear man, and now the children will no longer go hungry thanks to Jeff Lemire. Now that's dope. I'm really happy for him. I'm really happy for this story. That's really great. I think that's super, super cool.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll start seeing more of this through the all-in line where some of these runs, because a lot of these runs are short, and I'm sure they'll get extended out.
Like that Barbara Gordon Breakout book that came out this week where I'm like, oh, this is cool. It would be great if this sold enough and they actually end up transitioning that into a new Barbara Gordon ongoing.
That'd be pretty cool.
Which, look, you can have 2 Batgirls. Everyone's like, yeah, but Cassandra Cain has a Batgirl book right now, which apparently is well received. It's 18 issues in. And I'm like, look, you can have both. They can have totally different types of adventures.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's what's cool about Batgirl. It's different things. Also, too, I didn't put it on the list, but I just remembered. They announced another DC Next Level title. Deadshot is getting a book.
Yeah, he's getting a one-shot, which apparently ties all of these all-in books together somehow. I think it'll just be him sort of interacting with each of these members, and I think it might also sort of push the overarching all-in story up a little bit.
Yeah, seems likely. Yeah. I'm super on board with this because I have always loved Deadshot, and did you know Deadshot has had 2 other minis before this?
Yeah, he's been so fucking weird because he died and then he came back and he was a zombie, and then I don't know what the fuck was going on in that Secret Six book.
Yeah, right. I didn't finish it, but he was in it.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to find out. The chat saying, did you guys hear people are upset that Moon Girl isn't playable in Marvel Rivals? Yeah, that is a bit of a piss off. Hey, here's Cyclops and Devil Dinosaur. What about Moon Girl though?
Yeah,
it's never Devil
who is with Devil Dinosaur.
Yeah, it's never Devil Dinosaur on his own. It's either Moon Boy if you're old and Moon Girl if you're young. Fuck you guys doing?
Yeah.
And look, I'm sure they had some crusty old white man meeting where it's well, we can't have a little girl on the back of the dinosaur. If so, people will, worry about her getting hurt. And, we have characters with guns and everything. And I'm like, oh, she's riding a dinosaur. It's fucking fantasy. Come on. Grow a sense of humor. Let the little black girl on the dinosaur beat up the Punisher and Captain America. Come on. It's only weird if you make it. Jeff the Land Shark is here. Are we worried about Jeff getting hurt?
Yes, we are.
Yes, in fact, we are. In fact, Joel, because you brought it up, we're actually getting rid of Jeff the Land Shark. Aw, man. Boo.
Wonder also if it has anything to do with a certain sect of Marvel Rivals fans being fucking weirdos.
Yeah. Then the chat too saying Penny Parker was 14 and they aged her up, right? Where it's you could age up Moon Girl too. She's Moon Woman now. It's fine.
Yeah.
She's 30. She's got a bank loan she's got to pay off. She's had a couple divorces under her belt. She's really feeling being 30. There you go. Just, the light has left her eyes, the joy. She's still incredibly intelligent. It's just rough. It's just, rough out there. God, a Moon Woman book would basically be like the heroic, like good version of Sister Sage's storyline from The Boys. Yeah, I'm one of the smartest people in the world, and you know what? That actually sucks.
Yeah, it'll be like that Spider Woman book, the Jessica Drew Spider Woman, where she was pregnant with she's just like living her life one step at a time.
Yeah, it's just hard. Then again, you know, it would be easy to make that story more hopeful. She's like, yeah, you know, it's tough being a woman of color in STEM and everything. You know, it's hard being one of the smartest people in the world and still trying to conduct relationships. But when I'm sad, you know what really perks me up? I remember I have a fucking dinosaur that I can ride around on, and no one else has that. And then I remember life is actually pretty dope. That's what I want. Oh, yeah, the chat's reminding us, too, we also have the trailer for My Adventures with Superman Season 3. Yeah, shocking I didn't put that one in here.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I'm so fucking glad they changed his super suit. I did not like that one at the end of the last season.
Yes, I remember you hated that one super hard when I was watching the trailer. I'm like, Matt got his wish.
Yeah, I like it. I like the idea of the cape around the arms. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Also looks like we're getting all the different Reign of the supers in there. We got Superboy, we got Cyborg, Superman, Steel they introduced, last season, so I'm sure we'll see him again.
It also made me think of something which we have seen before in comics, and I never really thought about it until I saw this. It's like Reign of the Superman is so much more interesting when Superman is actually alive to be there.
Right.
It looks so much more interesting.
Yeah, for him to deal with it, and also because this is like a younger Superman. This is a Superman only like 2 years into his career. So to see him have to deal with like imitators who might actually do the job better, that's fascinating. That's a fascinating concept.
That's cool, yeah.
We saw Giganta in there. What other villains was I missing?
We got Cyborg, Superman. There were some other villains. I'm not sure exactly who they are, because I really do. I don't know what some people's problem with it is, but like I really love the drastic redesign in a lot of these villains.
Yeah,
you can't immediately tell who they are. I kind of
massive
like that.
Swings.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I mean, they take swings so massive, I didn't even know Luthor was Luthor at first. I'm like, nah, he could be the other Alexander. He could be the other Parasite. You don't know. Then to be like, oh, nope, Alexander is short for Lex. Holy shit. How about that? I keep waiting for him to lose his hair, right? That's got to happen any day now.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure, I think on the poster, there is a bald Lex Luthor. But again, that could be like, is this a different Earth? Because they have introduced other realities in this universe. Yeah.
That they have. I also chuckled when I remembered that Deathstroke in this show is voiced by Morty's dad from Rick and Morty. What an oddly interesting pick for him. I'm like, well, is that because he's in the Adult Swim family? It was just easy to get him. Like, he's a great actor, don't get me wrong. He's just not the first person I would think for Slade Wilson.
No.
Now Morty. That also comes back soon, actually, the newest season of Rick and Morty.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Adult Swim's gonna be popping off.
Cool.
So chat saying Deathstroke's weird in that show. No, he's just like a Bishonen anime pretty boy is what he is. Because this is also young Deathstroke, hilariously, because Deathstroke is always shown to be an old guy. This just happens to be a young Deathstroke.
He's just, he's, what's his name? Fucking Seto Kaiba to Superman.
Oh,
Yugi. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 100%. He is every single anime pretty boy.
Yeah.
All right, I guess with that out of the way, we can hop into the show proper. Before we talk about comics, we alluded to it earlier. Do we want to talk about Punisher One Last Kill? That was also this week.
That was this week, yeah. The little 40-minute presentation that basically just retreads the story of the first 2 seasons of the show, which is Frank decides not to be the Punisher and then decides to be the Punisher.
Yes, it does seem in the MCU, Frank can really only have one story. That's not to say I didn't like it. In fact, if anything, shortening it to 45 minutes was a good choice. I'm like, man, I wish those first 2 seasons could have only been 45 minutes, just the good parts.
I wonder if that was the point, so people don't have to go back and watch, 3 seasons of The Punisher to understand him showing up in Born Again, and then I imagine Spider-Man, wherever else he goes. You can just watch this 40-minute short.
Yeah, I've been grappling with my feelings on this, because on one hand, It's very cool. This is probably the best action and choreography we have seen in a Punisher thing, maybe ever. A very interesting set of musical choices in this. Never did I think I would hear Louis Armstrong, Danzig, and Hatebreed all in the same soundtrack, but here we are.
It works. It works.
That Louis Armstrong one was the best. In fact, it's so good, I probably liked the Hatebreed bit less, because I'm like, no, you nailed it with Louis Armstrong, because in Punisher's mind, he shouldn't be all loud and aggro. He shouldn't be like, yeah, I'm the fucking Punisher. No, in his mind, he is calm and serene. Killing people is like taking out the garbage to him. Yep. He doesn't even sweat about it, man.
Yeah, he shouldn't have that loud noise in his... And I guess, like, that's what this short was to do, was to like get rid of that noise in his head and like make it so that he's like, oh yeah, he wants to be the Punisher now. Problem is, he's done that in literally every appearance he's had.
Yep, that also means, hey, he has not one but 2 great costumes in this that he wears for exactly 5 seconds apiece again!
Yeah, God, they fucking hate putting him in that costume, don't they? They fucking hate it.
And the fact that Bernthal wrote this makes me think, does Bernthal not like the costume? Is he actually the one holding that up now? Is he the problem?
Maybe, yeah.
Which, hey, furthermore, talk about that costume. I am shocked more people didn't mention this and this didn't blow up into a bigger thing. Okay. Why does the Punisher have an American flag on the arm of his costume now? That seems wildly antithetical to everything I know about the Punisher. What the absolute fuck, John? You're a producer and a writer on this.
And not only that, but also to like what he does in the show, where like there's like the scene where he's literally carving off his Marine tattoo,
military tattoo, yeah.
And so you think, you take that and you think like, oh, he's just he does it. He's done with the military. He doesn't want anything to do with that.
I don't deserve it.
Why would he wear that? Yeah, why would he wear that? And I could understand some of the reasoning being like, oh, well, he was in the military, but then you have that scene and it's like the complete opposite.
There are so many scenes in this that I loved in the moment. I'm like, oh, that's so clever, where it's like, oh, you know, this bit in Little Italy, it looks like a scene from The Purge there. There's just a ridiculous cartoonish amount of crime happening all the time. Oh, is this in Punisher's mind? Is this another one of his hallucinations? Is this what it's like to be Frank all the time? No, that's actually happening. That's actually real, which is a weird thing, because it's like, wait, aren't murders historically down in New York more than they've ever been? Wait, hasn't new Mayor Mamdani balanced the budget in a little over 100 days by taxing millionaires, proving that it can actually work, and he's funded all the social services without cutting a single thing? This feels like a weirdly timed bit of boomer Fox News anger. There's also a thing on the TV where it's like, you know, crime is at an all-time high, the Nucci's are dead, police enrollment is down. Why is police enrollment down? Why is police enrollment down, Show? Why? You can't just say that and leave it. Also, why the fuck does Punisher care about the cops? He wouldn't. His very existence is because the cops suck shit and are bad at their jobs.
Not only all of that like very topical real life stuff, just like, okay, so this is set in the same world as, you know, MCU, Born Again and everything. Where are the anti-vigilante task force? Like, right? Don't they have the entire city like locked down under Fisk's thumb? Even if this was set after
still
Born Again season 2, there would still be, you'd see the fallout of that.
Yeah, where it's like, you know, oh, the city is lawless now than ever. No, it wasn't. It was a fucking police state at the end of Daredevil. If you're going to do that, then you have to at least tell me where this takes place and everything. The characterization of Frank is fascinating, too, and it's clearly something Bernthal cares very much about. I had forgotten, because it had been so long since I saw the Netflix shows, where it's like, really focusing on the, you know, messed up vet PTSD angle of the character is kind of how they chose to make this dude more palatable and less scary, where it's like, look, you know, he's clearly in pain, and this is just the fucked up way he chooses to deal with it. Bernthal does all that stuff very well. And then on the other hand, it's like, yeah, but then they also play him the way like the comics would play him, where it's like, no, he should be scary to the audience too. Yeah. And maybe you shouldn't, you know, support this guy, and you shouldn't see too much of yourself in him. There's several moments that I really enjoyed. When he goes to the coffee shop and there's that crazy guy pitching a fit, Punisher doesn't get involved, and then when he leaves, doesn't even look at that guy. I'm like, yes, because the root causes of crime and criminality are invisible to the Punisher, because that's a complex problem he can't just shoot. Yes. when he goes to the grave of his, family, he's leaving little trophies there. And I'm like, oh shit, this is stuff he picked up from his kill. Oh my God, he's acting like a fucking serial killer. He's taking trophies to his family's grave and thinks that's fine. And then even at the end of the thing, when he saves that shopkeeper, he doesn't help him up. And I'm like, no, Frank wouldn't do that because I am only dealing with the immediacy of crime, not the actual victims. I don't actually care about those things because I'm fucked up in the head and not 100% a good guy and a hero, and you probably shouldn't, respect me. And I'm like, oh, that's so smart. But then I read, a Screen Junkie interview? Or I think it was Screen Junkie? It was one of those freaking, entertainment websites. The day of the show came out, John Bernthal's like, yeah, this whole show, it's a tribute, to the police force and the military and everyone else who owns the character of the Punisher and who lives in their hearts. And I'm like, oh my fucking God, why is this not blowing up like the Flag thing? Oh my God, John Bernthal, you never understood the Punisher at all. Holy shit. Which means that all those things I liked that thought was, you like showing Frank in a challenging light. No, it wasn't. You actually thought that was cool and right and just.
The right thing, yeah.
And then it gets worse. Thank you, Screen Rant. Screen Rant was the one. And then it gets so much worse because then I was like checking John Bernthal's Instagram that same day. This he took down. This you cannot find anymore. Clearly the right people yelled at him about this and he took it down. So the same day the show came out, he shared a podcast from a little fella named Sean Ryan. You know who Sean Ryan is, Matt?
I fucking know that loser.
Yes, if you're on the internet, you know Sean Ryan. He's one of those, I fucking love guns in America. I was a Marine, and then I worked for fucking Blackwater as a blood money mercenary committing war crimes all over the world. Now I have a podcast where I talk to other right-wing dillholes. And, I loved Trump in the first thing, but I don't like him now. That doesn't matter. That just means you were smart enough to change midstream. You're still a fucking dillhole. So John Bernthal's like, yeah, I want to share a podcast with my friend and brother Marine, Sean Ryan. And on the same show, he was interviewing, I think, some former head of the Hells Angels biker gang right there.
I think I have actually seen some of that shit on, like, scrolling through
all
TikTok
over TikTok.
Yeah.
Yes, it was all over TikTok this week. It not Sonny Barger, but one of the other, like, big Hells Angels leaders, like, I'm a born-again Christian. I'm wearing a John 3:16 shirt. And also, Bernthal wants to play that guy in a movie, and The Rock is actually producing it. But also, like, fucking John Bernthal. Do you not see what you're doing here, John? Do you not remember season 1 of The Punisher, John, where you were killing exclusively bikers and mercenaries? Now you're out here being...
It's just...
And now you're out here being like, I love bikers and mercenaries. They're my favorite people. And I'm like, I think we lost John, everyone. I think he got too far into this role. I think he listened to all the wrong Punisher fans. And now I think moving forward, look, John, I know you're not the character. I know you don't have to have the same ideals and values. But moving forward, if we do any more Punisher, you can star, but I do not think you should write again.
Yeah, you say that, but it's mind-boggling because we have this where, like, he's done all of this sort of stuff. We had that Born Again episode where he's literally confronted by the anti-vigilante task force. You say, what he's doing. And like, how did that not like sit with him or anything and be like, maybe Punisher is the bad guy. Like, maybe I shouldn't write like this. But then also last week, he and Eben Moss Bacharach wrote that the Bear episode that came out, and it was fucking great. Yeah. It was so fucking good.
Yes. I think he does that character better than he does the Punisher. Just like my stomach sank in that moment, and I'm like, why aren't more people talking about this? Why has this not blown up so much bigger? And that news came on the heels of the Russo brothers being like, oh yeah, Spider-Man in our universe, he wasn't responsible for Uncle Ben's death, so he doesn't feel guilty about it. And I'm like, that fucking sucks.
What is fucking sucks in this? What is fucking happening?
Yeah, and this Berthal shit fucking sucks too. He took the podcast thing down because clearly someone, who either posts for him or someone from Disney realized what I realized, and I'm like, do you not see what you're doing? Yeah. Do you not see how these things on the day you're supposed to be promoting your new show that they don't fucking connect, dummy?
Oh God.
I mean, back to things I liked. The action scenes are very good. Like I said, this is some of the best choreography we've ever had. Easily one of the most violent things Disney Plus has ever put out. And if this serves as a proof of concept for anything, it's that, yeah, people will actually like and accept more violent shit in the MCU.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully that leads to like, yeah, more like R-rated stuff or like more mature audience stuff, and they should be able to do the violence. It's just the total whiplash of going from this into Spider-Man is gonna really fuck everyone up, I think.
It's going to be crazy. And I know a lot of people ask where it's like, well, what purpose did this thing serve? Because it wasn't a movie, and it's a short, but it also is kind of like trying to be a backdoor pilot because the Punisher never deals with Ma Nucci. That problem is still out there. And I'm like, no, this exists to be an easy jumping on point, like you said, Matt, for people who never watched the 2 seasons of that Punisher show. And also to reset Frank's own personal morality to something that is a little less self-centered. Oh, I'm not going to punish for myself anymore. I am going to punish for innocent victims who I will not help afterwards because that's how I roll.
Yeah, I will see all these bad things happening, but will not really do anything about it. Because it doesn't affect me personally.
Yeah, which is fine, because it's like, yeah, that's the character. That's the Punisher. He is instant self-gratification. He is blinders on 24/7. That's why he's fascinating. That's why he's interesting. That's the part that you nailed, right? Even when people are like, oh, I didn't like that they killed the doggy just for the Punisher to kill him later. And I'm like, nope, that's straight up classic Punisher there. You create the worst, most vile, detestable villain on page 1. So when the Punisher does him in on page 22, you're like, ah, yes, catharsis.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, it's.
But then you also put the American flag in there, where I'm like, that's not great in a day and age when people wearing actual American flags and military regalia are storming the streets of America, executing people willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Again, where it's like, John, did you not pay attention to that Punisher script where he said you guys are a bunch of clowns?
Yeah, that does. I think that actually probably was something Bernthal for. Like he wanted it put on the costume, because it does seem like he was very hands on, not just in writing but in like everything else. Because I've seen behind the scenes stuff where they shot this. I also don't think they had a lot of time to do any of this sort of stuff.
Same.
Which I don't.
Yes, this looked fair.
Very rushed. Very like, because everything outside the action is very like. Yeah, we don't care about that. Yeah, we don't care about that.
Lot of one takes in this, which, again, I'm fine with. A lot of people are giving them shit for that, falling scene there too, where it's like, oh, they clearly superimposed John Bernthal's face over another actor, and it looks like it didn't render right.
Yeah, it looks like it was a couple of renders off.
And like, normally I wouldn't give a shit, because it's like, whatever, it's one scene, but then it's like, but everything else you clearly did so well, and so like in camera, and so like, visceral and everything. This only looks so bad and sticks out because you did everything else differently. And then we got our villain here. We got Ma Nucci. Ma Nucci confused me too, because it's like, oh, well, Judith Light is great in this role. Great casting.
She's really good
about that. Yeah, she's, for what little time we have her, and it's like, oh, she's already in a wheelchair. Wait, but was she already in a wheelchair before Punisher killed her family, or did that
never made
happen
clear.
later?
It's never made clear, because she's in that car when we see Frank turn up and kill her son, and she doesn't get out of the car. So it's like, is she in it? Like, yeah, you probably needed that scene where it's like, oh yeah, Frank like breaks her legs or something, cripples her or something.
Yeah, right, because in the book, Ma Nucci is like a quadruple amputee because the Punisher fed her arms and legs to polar bears, which I'm like, oh, is that something the show would do, where it's like, yeah, the Punisher won't kill women, but he'll brutalize them, though? Yeah. Is that a line you're willing to cross, show? Is that somewhere you're willing to go? I guess you're not. And then they also like kind of take a page out of Widow's Club, my favorite Punisher story, where she's like, look, you killed my family. Your family is dead. I'm a grieving mother. You really can't say shit to me seeking my revenge, right? Do you not see that if we all acted like you, the world would totally suck? But again, because it's 45 minutes, we can't actually dwell on that, and they don't actually get to have another, scene, which again, different in the comics. In the comics, Ma Nucci was the leader of the Nucci family. She directed her sons to do all the evil shit they did. Here, the show paints her as like a victim, and I'm like, that's weird for a lady who was so ugly and so evil in the books.
Yeah, it's so odd.
And then there was her little helper, Barry, which everyone jumped to the conclusion, oh, that must be Barracuda. And I'm like, really?
Yeah, and
Really?
then the actor is also jumping on that, where he thought someone sent him fan art of his character from from the special presentation as Barracuda, and it's literally one of the covers from the Ennis comics. And he thinks it's like his character. He thinks it's fan art of his character. I'm like, okay, you have no idea what's going on.
Guys, if this was really Barracuda, one, I think Disney would be terrified to use that character because that means people would have to. Yeah, because that means people would have to actually look into Barracuda again and be like, hey, remember all that stuff they had to change for the boys to make that palatable for television and regular audiences out there? Times that by like 100, and then you have Barracuda. Barracuda is a guy who could very easily hang with the Seven, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, he's definitely not being anything. Like if they make him in the show, he's not going to be anything like he is in the comics. No, absolutely nothing like.
No, it would be in name only. Not only is he vile, not only is he detestable, but he dances right up to and occasionally crosses the line over into, oh, this is a racist caricature that Garth Ennis has done here. I love violence and white woman and fried chicken. I'm like, oh, okay, and I speak only in Ebonics. And I'm like, this is, this will not fly with modern audiences. In fact, this probably shouldn't have flown back then.
No, it definitely shouldn't have.
Yeah, so I would say the Punisher special is a mixed bag. Do I think they will do any more of it? I think this was popular. I think a lot of people really seem to enjoy it. I mean, you only have to watch the one. I think the big problem and the big stumbling block will actually be Bernthal himself. He gave an interview today where he's like, would I make more? Yes, definitely. I think there's more meat on the bone, but I would have to be allowed to make it my way. To which I'm like, maybe you shouldn't, though.
No. That's weird as well, because it implies that he thinks he owns the character now. Because
which is already getting kind of weird.
Yeah, no, you're just an actor who plays this guy.
Yeah, that is again, this isn't like a Charlie Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio situation where it's like, oh, well, if we lost him, he would be irreplaceable. No, you could probably get another guy to play Frank. Yeah. You probably could.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had a couple guys, and I don't think any of them 100% nail it. Some of them definitely come close. I think they've all brought something a little different to the character, but I don't think they've ever 100% pulled it off. Like I said, they've never gotten the quiet menace of the Punisher. He's not a guy who yells, because he doesn't have to yell.
No, but that's all John Bernthal does.
Yeah, which I heard some people say, like, man, he actually would have been really good casting for Wolverine, and I'm like, honestly, yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
Especially this one in the beard. If they do Punisher again, I want the quiet menace guy. I want the guy who makes people shit their pants just when he shows up standing there.
Yeah.
That's the guy I want. Even Jane kind of got that. I was actually very much reminded. Remember when Thomas Jane couldn't be the Punisher anymore, and then he sunk a bunch of his own money, ironically very similar to this, into his own creator-owned short film, Dirty Laundry.
Yeah, and he's very reserved and quiet in that.
Yes. This whole thing, Punisher One Last Kill reminds me very, very much of Dirty Laundry. This is basically his answer to that. But yeah, good enough. There are some problems with it, and like all the shit that I really did like about it and was ready to rave about it, kind of fell into the pit of my stomach when I read Bernthal's interviews and checked his social media, where I'm like, okay, so all the things I was going to give you credit for, those were accidents. Moving. It's so weird too, because he did so much press, and it's like, why did you wait till the day of to start fucking up? Is the thing. Were you just keeping that in the whole time? It's like, well, show's out now. It's only 45 minutes. You can't stop me.
Yeah, I guess maybe it was one of those things. It's like, yeah, we've already filmed it. You paid me for it. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Or was he just feeling so high and invincible after, the success of that Bear one shot and everything else? He's like, I'm having a great week. You can't stop me. Me and the Thing teamed up. Look, that needs to be the next Punisher project, is all I'm saying. It needs to be John Bernthal Punisher teaming up with Ebon Moss Barracks the Thing, and it's just them going on a road trip in the Marvel Universe is what we need.
That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool.
Literally just reshoot that bear segment scene for scene, only
Yeah.
now they're all in their costumes. That's what we need.
Yeah, Ben has to like teach him to like mellow out.
Yeah, literally, that's the whole special, and I think it'd be great. I think people would actually really like it. But yeah, so that was Punisher. Conflicted. I'm conflicted on it, and I was even more conflicted on it because I know I referenced it earlier when I said, hey, how Daredevil Born Again Season 2 ended. Loved all of it, but there was one scene that made me raise an eyebrow when it's like, yeah, all these anti-Kingpin protesters are donning devil's masks and doing a January 6th into City Hall to kill Fisk. You guys weren't violent before. What the fuck happened? Yeah. And then where it's like, oh my, and then I'm like, oh my God, they're a literal woke mob. And then they let Kingpin speak, and he's like, I just did it because I love the city so much. No, you don't. Why are people letting him why are people letting him say this? Why are they letting the fascists talk? And Daredevil being like, I need to save you. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that is what Matt would do, because that's kind of been his whole thing all season, saving people. And yes, his punishment doesn't look like a punishment, but it is, because he is, away from the city that he loves so much, and he doesn't have his wife, and he's going to be suffering. And we've already seen pictures of him for season 3, and he's even fatter, and he's grown a depression beard now and everything, where I'm like, okay, that's something. But boy, was that protester shit weird, where I'm like, guys, you are mixing your metaphors so bad here. And it's even worse if you read the Chip Zdarsky book, where you know what they were referencing. When all those people put the mask on in the comics, it was to fight the Stromwind twins, these evil 1%er land developers who were going to destroy all their mom and pop businesses to build high rises. And I'm like, I don't like that you're mixing this metaphor.
That's why I was so disappointed when Matthew Lillard's character ended up being just some like shadowy a guy. Just a guy. I was just like, oh, he would be like a perfect like Stormwind. He's come in to help like Doom, like redevelop part of New York or something, and that's what they're fighting about.
I 100% thought, I'm like, he's Guy Ritchie. He's got to be Guy Ritchie from the
Henry
books.
Guy Ritchie, yeah.
He's got to be Henry Guy Ritchie, because that's a villain who could go into any Marvel property and make perfect sense, because he's just like shitty government guy who hates superheroes.
Yeah.
I mean, he still might be, because, I'm sure he's one of those guys where it's like, nah, even my aliases have aliases. Like, what's the one he gives on the plane, Mr. Miller?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Which is hilarious, because I'm like, haha, that's a Frank Miller reference, isn't it? That should be the thing. He should keep giving fake names that are Daredevil writers. Oh, I'm Mr. Miller. I'm Mr. Bendis. I'm Mr. Amid. That should be his gimmick moving forward until we get his real name. He just keeps giving fake ones. I'm Mr. Draconic. Because there's enough Daredevil writers, you could do it. You can 100% do it. I'm Mr. Conway. Oh, that's another sad thing, too, where it's like, oh, yeah, I guess Jerry Conway died before he got to see this. Yeah. I wonder how he would feel, given that he spent so many of his last years trying to, save and liberate the Punisher symbol from being, conflated with alt-right America, only to see Frank Castle come out wearing a goddamn American flag on his arm. I don't think he would have liked that.
No, I don't think that would have been something he would have enjoyed.
Maybe it's good he missed that one, is all I'm saying.
I mean, who knows? Maybe he did see the show before. I mean, I haven't really seen anything in the news about him, a posthumous interview or anything, so...
And they didn't do a dedicated to the memory of, like we wanted to. That's a shame.
Yeah, that sucked.
I mean, they probably already had it in the tank and ready to go, but still. Yeah, boo. The chat saying it's like, yeah, maybe the mouse is watching a little too close to these projects now. It kind of feels that way, 2 in the row, that someone in a suit came down and said, we think you need to be a little bit more fair, and we think you need to, show both sides of the issue.
Well, we were talking about it earlier on with, like, the Ultimates ending and everything. It's like that, and that, what Dennis Camp is doing in that is just like fantastic and everything, and it's all just being like abruptly ended, as new administration and everything starts to come in and everything. So yeah.
It kind of feels that way. I hope this doesn't become a thing. I hope there's not a moment in the new Spider-Man movie where he's like, wow, guys, I really learned a lot in this fight and everything. Maybe the real friends is that student's trip I took to Israel that one time, is all I'm saying. It really gave me the power to help overcome my enemies here, is what it did. And then I laugh my ass off because I also just watched the new episode of The Boys, where it's like, oh, come on, this is the 4th highest rated show on VOT. Why am I getting canceled? Oh, sorry, the Taylor Sheridan AI has broken down and it doesn't want to take notes.
That's so funny because, like, yeah, that is exactly what Yellowstone was like at the end, where it was all that sort of stuff. And it was like, that's so fucking funny. Got it to a T. Brilliant joke for everyone who says The Boys fell off. I'm like, nah, it hasn't. Not really. They can still bring it when it counts, and that's definitely one of those when it counts. But then again, maybe everyone isn't so, chronically on freaking entertainment internet the way you and I are. Yeah.
Because you figure some of these, like, industry jokes, like, have to fly over the heads of, like, Joe and Jane Popcorn, right?
Yeah.
Like, the fact that one, Weasley little guy is, like, clearly supposed to be Bryan Singer or a Bryan Singer type.
Yeah, Bryan Singer or like a J.J. Abrams or something, or yeah.
Or a Brett Ratner.
Oh, yeah, Brett Ratner.
Hey, did you hear that shamed filmmaker Brett Ratner actually went with President Trump and the 10 richest people in America to go beg for handouts from China this week? Yeah, Ratner was with them. I shit you fucking not, because apparently the Trump administration really wants him to make Rush Hour 4, so he's scouting locations in China on this meeting. That's and I'm so like, the world isn't... The world is an Onion headline. I fucking hate it here. I really do.
It's so fucking silly. So fucking
we couldn't even get a good dystopia, Matt. We get a dumbass dystopia is what we get. We're closer to Idiocracy than we are anything else. But the fucked up thing is, if you watch Idiocracy, that world is actually slightly better, because that world actually has a president and a government that wanted to help people. They were just too fucking dumb to do it.
Stupid,
they weren't evil. They weren't evil or malicious. They were just stupid. And when they actually found a smart guy, what did they do? They listened to the smart guy and everything got better, unlike in the real world where people are stupid and shitty at the same time, and they'd be like, kill that guy, kill the smart guy, he made me feel bad. Let's talk about what we read this week, Matt.
Let's.
Yeah, let's move on here before I have an early fucking heart attack. Where would you like to begin?
We had Absolute Batman issue 20.
Yes, we did, and oh man, what a fucking tour de force this one is. It is genuinely amazing how much Snyder and company can fit into a single issue, right?
It is. This issue is a nice bait and switch, because you think you're going to get all of the Robins and all of that sort of stuff, and it's like, no, that's the end of the issue. We're gonna deal with some Strawman stuff first.
Absolutely. I was so worried going into this one, because I'm like, oh no, are they going to do that thing I hate so much where they're like, oh, Batman's existence was planned. We meant to kill the Waynes. We meant for all of this to happen. And I'm like, oh, please, Snyder, don't do that. You must know that this sucks every time someone does it. And he did know, because he ended up throwing a complete curveball into it. And I'm like, okay, I love this now. Okay, you got me. You used my own fear against me. You used my own genre savvy to set me up for what ended up being a fuck of a punchline.
Yeah, it's all a joke, and it's all because Martha Wayne was part of the Court of Owls.
Mm-hmm. So beautiful, because, Batman breaks into the prison because he's like, Joe Chill's the only one who knows. I need to put the boots to him. He can tell me the truth. And Strawman is already in the cell, and he has a great reveal because all you see is the fire from his cigarette when he stands up, and he gives like a really great speech about the difference between fear and dread. And I'm like, okay, this is why you're the Strawman here and not just the Scarecrow, because fear is something tangible. Yeah. Fear is something you can point at and go, I am afraid of that thing. But dread is all encompassing. Dread is abstract.
It's the
I just
picture.
Feel it.
Yeah,
it's crushing me. And it's like, oh, that's Strawman's job for Jack Grimm. Yeah, I just go around, fueling dread all over the world. Fear of disease, fear of war, fear of resources running out. Everything you're probably afraid of right now reading this comic. That's my job. and I'm really good at it. And yeah, the Batman project, that was something me and Jack Grimm collaborated on. And no, don't worry, Batman, your life isn't some sort of conspiracy. That would be stupid. No, it's something much worse. It's a joke. We were fucking with you. No, we weren't even fucking with you. We were fucking with your mother, actually. Yeah. You were just, a little side victim in this thing. And we thought it was hilarious in the way sick rich people do.
Yeah, oh man, it is so fucking funny just that it's all because of his mother. I actually had a theory about this, and it's a theory that like a lot of people didn't like, but also one that also kind of makes sense. It won't happen because it's a wacky theory, but so Batman has learned that becoming Batman wasn't something that he was destined to do, or like something he chose to do because it was all predetermined. But and there's that whole bat is the prey of an owl sort of thing. What if he decides to join the Court of Owls with his mother? and not only that, but what if he starts going by the moniker Owlman?
Well, I mean, as we know in this universe, apparently the Court of Owls is one of the only things that Jack Grimm was ever afraid of. So, I mean, yeah, there's definitely some power there, and it's the other part of his legacy, where it's like, to take this up, maybe that is something Batman would be willing to do. That would be crazy. Man, there's just so much about this that I absolutely love so deeply. Oh, the fact that more of Batman's life now in this universe is actually paralleling Joker's life in the main universe. He went to jail. He was a con in this universe. And when he got out, he kept working for Falcone. He was his Batman, by which I mean take this bat and beat people up who owe me money, please.
I like that idea. It's like, the bat's more just like a tool. It doesn't really mean anything. It's just Bruce's just sheer like size and everything will make people like pay up or like do what Falcone needs. The bat is just just there just in case.
Just in case. And I'm like, I love that. I'm like, wow, so Bruce actually lived a life in this world closer to the Joker. This is like his Jack Napier moment there. Oh my God. Yeah. And now his life is the joke. While Jack Grimm lives in a mansion and has a bat cave and all the money in the world, they have literally switched places.
Yeah, I like that new bat. The bat cave is just basically just the normal bat cave. He's got like the penny plunderer, giant penny. What I assume is like a dinosaur skeleton or a robotic dinosaur island. There's a little display case with a Court of Owls mask in it, because we did learn that Jack did defeat, quote unquote, the Court of Owls. But obviously they're still around. But that's a story we need to see told. Why were they such a big threat to him?
Right? Yeah, that's got to be an annual or something.
Yeah.
It's also, too, Jack Grimm's not quite Batcave is also some sort of twisted eldritch jacket chamber as well, because he's watching Batman's fight on the screen while he's drinking babies or doing whatever it does to keep him young.
Yeah.
And totally, I'm like, did Snyder mean to do this? Because the framing of the scene is that he's watching it on his computer in his chair, and I'm like, he's enjoying this way too much. Is this what the Joker needs to come in this world? Does he need dark, twisted jokes?
Cave. Yeah.
It is literally his goon cave. Oh my God. Butler, leave me. I must go to my secret goon cave. Where I need to watch Batman beat up my agents. That's how messed up I am as a rich guy. This is the only way I can achieve climax anymore. Jesus Christ. But yeah, it's a powerhouse of an issue. It's great. They really get Scarecrow over as a brand new shocking take on the character, and I'm like, wow, this is so good. I'm actually amazed Snyder never actually wrote anything about Scarecrow when he wrote Batman the last time.
Yeah, I really like that. It's kind of up Scarecrow's rep a little bit, where he's like in this universe, he's second in command to the Joker. He's basically Batman's like second big villain. Like, that's really cool.
And even though it's like, I don't even have to touch you, man, is the thing. I am so good at what I do, and I have planned everything. I knew you were coming here, so I planned to be in the cell. I had my birds do the alarm, so you would have to leave. Like, Batman has not even been able to get near him yet.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate, like, brains versus brawn thing, right? Like, you could probably break me in half, but you'll never get the opportunity to.
Yeah.
we get a bunch of stuff with Killer Croc too, and the Crime Alley crew,
cool.
and all the sad fates that have become them. Love this new take on Riddler's costume, because it's half like the Golden Age onesie with the question marks on it, but it's also half like cyberpunk Netrunner Jack Me In.
His suit reminded me of what Jim Carrey wore in Batman Forever. That that onesie sort of like sparkly costume. Yeah, it looks great. I like that he's got like long like index fingers, like long pointy index fingers. Makes him look really creepy. But what I really like about this is that like usually Batman is the one who creates the villains in some way. He's in some way part of their origin, and here he is, but in such a different way. In that, like him being Batman is like the consequences is his friends get injured and turned into villains, and they turn to villainy, although it's not really villainy. It's just being weirdos as a way of coping, as like a coping mechanism.
Yeah, which again, I'm like, is this universe actually being kinder and gentler to the concept of like mental and physical illness, where everyone says like, oh, Batman's just a rich guy who beats up sick people. So in this universe, Snyder's like, no, he's friends with the sick people and he's not rich, and they try and help him and vice versa, even though they struggle to understand each other. I think the worst thing was like Two-Face is like, because he was a lawyer, they threw out all of his cases, so a bunch of guilty people walked free. So it looks like he's going around basically doing his own Punisher thing.
Yeah, he's become the Punisher. That's what I called him in my review. He's become Punisher.
Punisher with beautiful Japanese ghost girl hair. And I love that this is just like a thing where it's like, this is happening in the background. Maybe Batman will deal with it. Maybe he won't.
Yeah. Maybe when he has time, when he's not dealing with like eldritch abominations, And
giant mechs. What a great setup for that, where it's like, no, Batman, you've flown directly into a trap by the Robins. And then you're like, oh, I don't know who has it worse right now. Batman, who has to deal with the Go-Go Robin Rangers, or the Robins, who have to deal with an emotionally unstable Batman who just learned the truth about his existence and wants to beat the fuck out of someone.
A Batman who's, he got no fucks to give left, and he's got to deal with these guys. I do like that the Robins were easily able to like get a drop on Batman, though, by just like working together and just being a team.
Yeah. It's beautiful. It really is. Also, the news is calling Batman the cowled Prince of Crime now.
Like the clown Prince of Crime.
I read that line and I'm like, oh, Snyder, you were fucking cooking with this one, weren't you? I bet you wrote that line. It's like, oh yeah, I'm good at my job, and you are. That's beautiful. The cowled Prince of Crime. Holy shit, because Batman in this world is the Joker. They keep painting him as a crazy man doing terrorist acts.
They keep painting him as a crazy man, and they paint the Robins as like, orphans who like pulled up their bootstraps and decided to help out the people.
Which I wonder when we get into the Robins, I'm like, are they going to be messed up too? Are they going to have like weird... Are they going to have like weird child star issues?
Well, I think Tim Drake is actually the actual ward of Jack Grimm, so he's probably going to be the most fucked up one. Yeah,
right. Jeez, how were Michael Jackson's kids doing these days? Oh, going to premieres with armbands on? Yeah, I thought so. Oh, Blanket. I'm sorry, Blanket. You had a real life, didn't you?
Oh, God.
I can only imagine. But yeah, so that was Batman. Batman was great. Batman fucks, as they say. He really does. Batman as fuck. People didn't like that. It's like, oh, that's a little much. And I'm like, no, unfortunately, it's very accurate.
and Scarecrow or Strawman also hints that it's like, oh, this is just like the tip of the iceberg. There's like worse things happening that you're going to discover very soon.
Yeah, there's so much other shit going on you don't even know about, man. You don't even know the true nature of this universe.
No.
In fact, most of the heroes don't really know the true nature of the universe.
No, the only one who really does is Martian Manhunter.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's weird. I guess from Batman, we can move to Superman. We had Action Comics 1098 this week.
Yes, quickly approaching 1100.
Yeah. Another fun one, another, Superman hanging out with the time-traveling Justice League, trying to get his shit back, and also Mark Waid finally getting the opportunity to tell a brand new in-canon origin story for how the Kents found Superman's rocket, and how they navigated that minefield of like, well, you can't just adopt a kid you find on the side of the road.
Yeah, I love that Waid has just been doing that with this book, where he's just like, I'm just going to give Superman a brand new modern origin, so we don't keep using the Jeff Johns secret origin stuff. Be something for modern times. And because he's such a fucking super nerd, he thinks of stuff like this. It's like, in the modern age, you can't just pick a child up off the road and say, this is mine now. There's like paperwork and all that sort of stuff.
Especially in a small town when A, everyone knows you already, and B, when everyone would also know, where it's like, oh, I think Martha Kent has a problem conceiving, actually. So they would ask so many different questions, and for them to be like, look, we did have to actually take him to social services, we actually did have to jump through a lot of hoops, and yes, there probably were a bunch of other foster families he probably should have gone to before us, but because we were so beloved in the community, everyone just kind of fudged the numbers and looked the other way.
Everyone's like, yeah, they deserve it. It's the Kents. What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, which is beautiful in that too, where it's like, and thank God they did, right? Because we could get into some real The Nail type situations if they didn't.
Yeah. He goes and stays with a bunch of millennials, a millennial family. Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah. Millennial Superman coming soon. Oh, God. But yeah, I like that because it's like, cool, this is, once again showing how important Smallville was in the, creation of the Superman myth, where it's like, them being cool was a big part of this.
Yeah. And I like that also, that them finding out that Clark is an alien and stuff sort of spurred on their fascination with UFOs, which we've seen Martha talk about endlessly throughout this series with Mark Waid, where she's like big into UFOs and alien movies and everything.
But, in a cute way, not in a weird conspiracy theory kind of way. And I love, too, Martian Manhunter's like, crap, Epoch's got the ship. Crap, this is a really important moment in history where Clark needs to learn about Krypton and his history. Okay, I gotta massage this situation and try and maneuver people into situations where I can organically spit out the word Krypton so they'll know it.
I also like that he is sure to... He bends the rules a little bit by saying it's like, hey, I know you guys were probably worried that Clark would be, picked up by his people again or something, but you need to not worry about that anymore. That's not going to happen. This is his forever home. He's staying here.
Yeah, you're all good. To which Booster and the others like, I thought we weren't supposed to reveal shit about the future. Sue me. I can do it. I'm a Martian. I can get away with it. Mary Marvel gets a fun bit, too, because, all this crazy stuff is happening, and Clark's like, oh, and I still got to go to school tomorrow, and Lana's going to be mighty steamed at me. And Mary Marvel's like, no, I'll just come with you and be hot next to you, and she'll be so jealous she won't care, and it works.
It works perfectly. I love that Mary Marvel is part of this, because, she's, had barely an interaction with Superman, and, giving her this chance to be, able to connect to a young teenage version of him is really cool. It's great. He's like a sister to him.
Yep. And Mark Waid clearly fucking loves the character and loves the Shazam family. And you can see that in the work there. Even Booster Gold surprises me with the depth and complexity they give him. He gets a great moment with the Kents where he's trying to jerry-rig a crystal so they can hunt down the ship. And they ask him point blank where it's like, what do you do, Michael? We know what the Martian and the Magic Girl does, but what are your powers, man? He's like, I'm basically doing it right now. I just love that idea. I just love this idea where it's like, you don't seem nearly as super as all the other people around us. You don't seem nearly as amazing. You kind of seem like a bit of a bro. And I'm like, yeah, I am.
That would have been perfect for him to bring. It's like, I don't really do much, but I can throw a football like no one's business, because he was a football star, and he was before he became a superhero.
Look, I can throw the fuck out of a football. I'm really good at managing Planet Hollywood style restaurants. I'm great at front of house. I can chug so many beers and crush them on my head. Oh yeah, and I also time travel, and I'm also clearly doing super science right now. But I'm doing super science, but I'm not a genius. Is the funniest thing.
He just knows that number go up. Good.
Yeah, yeah. I'm literally duct taping this with like a bunch of drumsticks, so eventually we can find the ship. If a divining rod finds water, this can find a ship.
Yeah.
And it works.
It works, yeah. They track down Epoch, they get into a big fight with him, there's like a big explosion, and the comic ends with Superman, or Superboy, without his powers. He gets, I guess, blasted by Red Sun.
Yeah, uh-oh. That's gonna be bad for him.
Yeah.
Probably good that you have 3 heroes that together could actually do a pretty good job spoofing your own abilities.
Yeah, well, they do that in this issue. Martian Manhunter pretends to be Superboy when he confronts Epoch for the first time. That's pretty cool.
I get the feeling the next story is going to be some like switcheroo shit where it's like, no, you're still expected to do stuff in history even without your powers. We're going to be in the background making it look like you still have your powers.
What they'll do is there's going to be because I think there's this next issue, and then we get the big special issue, which is I think where he travels to the future or something, ties in with King Zod and all that. But I reckon there's going to be one of those classic things where like, someone figures out Superboy and Clark are the same person. Oh no, well Clark's over there. Who's that Superboy over there? And it's like Martian Manhunter, that sort of stuff.
It's gonna be Kenny Braverman. He's gonna freaking figure it out.
Yeah, he'll figure it out, and then he'll completely forget when he later on becomes Conduit.
Yeah, right. He figured it out, but then he got hit in the head. Yeah. He drank too much in his teens and absolutely forgot that he knew this life-shattering piece of information.
Yeah, he went on to play like football, and got too many concussions.
Yeah, right. Ooh, or maybe Lana's dad, because they keep setting up that Lana's dad is some like weird scientist who knows more than he's letting on.
Yeah, there's definitely they did hint when they brought him in a couple issues ago. The dialogue hinted that he would be coming back at some point. So maybe he's involved with this big issue 1100 or something.
Probably. And also, too, where it's like, when was the last time anyone wrote anything about Lana's dad?
When they got kidnapped by manhunters and killed, like, 40 years ago, 50 years ago.
Oh, shit. Is that literally the last time we heard about Lana's dad?
I think so. Yeah, that was, like, one of their, like, stories where, like, they're, like, murdered or something by manhunters or something.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
Everyone be sure not to mention that to him at some point in the past. Hey, look, 40 years in the future, some manhunters are going to come at you. Duck is all I'm saying. Just duck. You'll know. 40 years from now, you'll know. I'd be such a terrible fucking time traveler. I'd be giving time spoilers all over the fucking place. I could not keep my mouth shut about these things. I'd be finding people and be like, look, you want to invest in this thing called Microsoft Computers, okay?
Yeah. Remember the word cryptocurrency.
Yes, but only for the first little bit. Get in and then get right the fuck out is all you gotta do. Also, there's going to be a big Super Bowl upset in about 25 years. Be there on the day and don't let anyone know I said anything. And also, while I'm here, let me set up a bank account and put like $50 in it and then travel to the future. The funny thing is I actually don't think that would work because with how shitty banks are, where it's like, we've been charging you 10 cents a day for like 50 years.
You probably end up owing them, yeah.
Yeah, your $50 you put in the bank account is actually negative like 30,000 now. Yeah. Shit.
And since you couldn't pay that, we had to seize assets, so now you have no more Bitcoin.
Crap. All right, well, that's what I can go back in time and try again. Which, hey, is exactly what Iron Lad tried to do in Ultimate Endgame this week, and it didn't work.
It didn't work. Yes, he tried to save Peter Parker from being killed by the Maker, and it just doesn't work in the Dome City place that they're in.
Which is hilarious, because I didn't even think about that, where it's like, oh yeah, freaking Iron Lad has a time machine. He should be able to save Peter, right? If it just happened, only for Cam to be like, nope, we actually can't get out of this one. Sorry, guys. He actually is gone. Just because Iron Lad has the Immortus engine doesn't mean he knows how to use it 100%.
Yep, which means Peter Parker did not get that happy ending. Well, I mean, he did, but then they also just killed him away. And killed him away. You know, his family doesn't even know what happened to him, and probably won't ever learn what happened to him.
Wah. This issue was great, and it was filled with so many different downers, like that Peter Parker thing. But also the thing that made me laugh so much is that, it seemingly Doom turned on the others because there's a version of the Maker that only he can see. And it didn't quite make a lot of sense to me. But then in this issue, they straight up explain it. And I laughed so hard, Matt, because I instantly thought of you. Because the Maker's big plot was like, oh yeah, back in issue 6, I totally injected you with like a bunch of microplastics. I've been trying to take over your mind this whole time. You're actually stronger than I thought. And I laughed because I'm like, oh, Matt was right about the microplastics. They came back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was 100% right.
100%. Like, I read it at night here. I'm like, damn it, I wish Matt was awake so I could tell him he was right. The fucking microplastics, man. They're in his balls and taking over his mind. But yeah, so that's the whole thing there. Doom's got to try and fight him off, and outside, the Wakandans actually get involved, and friggin' Storm and Maystorm from the Japanese X-Men get a cool moment together where they get to do weather magic, and I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And Black Panther gets to talk to Captain America for the first time. It's like, hey, I've got a bunch of vibranium nukes. If these, Maker zombies get out of control, I can probably destroy the whole area. Are you cool with that?
No. The problem with all of these interactions is like, boy, these would have been cool with like 2 arcs behind them for like, setup and everything. Like I said in my review, you could have had something with like Captain America where like he's like, oh, he meets Black Panther earlier on in the Ultimates, and they relate to each other because Cap knew a Black Panther in the World War II or something. Yeah.
It's like, I know we all hate tie-ins, but literally all of these little interactions, that should have been a tie-in, that should have been a tie-in. Yeah,
but it would have been a really cool tie-in because it's like the first meeting of Ultimate Cap and Ultimate Black Panther, and they butt heads because they don't do things the same way, and
And yet here they meet, but it's literally a phone call when they meet.
Yeah, they don't technically meet, and it's not even really like Cap isn't really happy about the nukes, but his pleas are like, oh no, don't do that. I'm busy over here with Captain Britain.
Yeah, because poor Cap has already lost the will to live because he had to kill Bucky Red Skull, and everything's going to hell. And I'm like, man, you did not have an easy go of it, Ultimate Captain America, did you?
I really like that, and I think that's also Camp being a bit topical, where it's like, yeah, America's fucking dead.
Yeah, America is beaten up and beaten down.
It's lost that empathy that it used to have. It doesn't care anymore.
Yeah, no one was fast enough to save America, not even Quicksilver. And oh man, that fight with Captain Britain, again, I'm like, this is so fucking awesome. I wish this had an arc to build. Yeah. I wish this had more. Because it is the ultimate battle of patriotism versus nationalism. And this is the most we've really gotten to hang out with Henry Dugry. And he is such a pompous piece of shit. I love him.
He's spouting fucking eugenics bullshit, fucking nationalist bullshit. Yeah, just everything.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, Rogers, is it one of those shifty Irish that's always been a deficit amongst you people? And I'm like, oh, deck this motherfucker, Cap. And he even goes, I'm American, I'll have you now. Oh, yes, Americans and your patriotism. I liked it better when we called it nationalism. You tried to clean it up, but the fact of the matter is it's always been the truth. I have more in common with Russian princes and Saudi sheikhs than I do bookkeepers and maids. Ooh.
I like his last line there, where it's like the United Kingdom was worth chaining its myths and using its symbols and everything, but America is not.
America, I will simply cut down. Because, Steve thinks he has this gotcha moment where it's like, well, if you hate symbols and you hate patriotism so much, why the fuck do you call yourself Captain Britain? Why do you literally drape yourself in the Union Jack? Oh, because I thought it was worth chaining, but the American myth I will simply cut down. And then he fucking kills them, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, didn't expect that.
Nope. It's also one of only 2 times they killed Captain America this week, which is quite shocking.
Yep.
Yeah, which I guess we can transition right into that. Hey, Captain America number 11, shit's popping off in Latveria. Turns out that kid is actually a clone of Victor Von Doom, and now everyone is playing out their own version. If you could go back in time and kill baby Hitler, would you?
Yeah, they're trying to get through this predicament that they found themselves in.
Yep, almost by accident. Like, they were about to leave when they stumbled into this.
Yeah, Nick stumbled into it. And then on top of that, they also have to deal with fucking Ross dumping his fucking Red Hulk team onto the fucking nation.
That was an insane image. That was so fucking cool. It's a bombing raid, but we're not dropping bombs. No. We're dropping Hulks.
Yeah, we're dropping all these Hulks.
Also, you want to talk about topicality there. Hey, Chip Zdarsky, in your story, a high-ranking member of the American military government, invades a sovereign nation for deeply petty, gripe-filled reasons. Yeah, tries to kill someone who is next in line for leadership to further destabilize that nation. Yeah. And he does it via a bombing raid that was not, endorsed by any congressional body. Yeah. What are you talking about, Chip? I don't understand. What are these references you're making?
Oh, it's just made up fictional stuff, that would never happen.
It's just cape shit, it's just, it's good fun times had by all. I'm not saying anything. And then to have Captain America literally be like, Ross, you've always been a dick, but you are trying to kill a child, an innocent child. Yes, he may one day grow up to be Dr. Doom, but he hasn't actually made any of those decisions yet because, of course, Captain America picks the third option in the would you kill baby Hitler. It's like, no, I wouldn't kill him. I wouldn't let him live. I would try and raise baby Hitler as my own to teach him to be a good guy. Say, hey, stay in art school, asshole. Let's watch Fiddler on the Roof again.
Yeah, he should talk with Cosmic Ghost Rider. He's got some things to say with raising baby Thanos.
Yeah, right. No, you can turn him away from evil. You just have to try really, really hard.
Yeah.
And Ross, I don't want to try hard. I want to smash. I'm a Hulk.
Yeah, and we get a fucking cool moment where Sam Wilson turns up.
Yeah.
In like this hail of like crows and birds and everything. And it's so fucking cool.
I often forget that he can actually do that. Yeah. I'm so movie brained where it's like, oh, Red Wing is a drone. No, Red Wing is an actual bird, and he can actually Aquaman psychic control all the other birds. It's a great power he should really use more.
It's one of those things where it's like, why is this not in the MCU? Why have they not given him this power?
Right. Because you think about it, it's like, how many birds are there in the world? About 1 billion? What if I summoned all of them right now? Some of those birds are really big. What if I summoned every bald eagle in America to attack you at once? With their big sharp talons and beaks and everything. It's a great moment, too, where, like, Steve's all hurt. It's like, Captain, thank you. Who's going to save Captain America? Captain America's going to save Captain America. And then, the shit keeps blowing up from there. The entire city is crumbling. Steve tries to save that little kid from before. He does, but he ends up getting crushed under an entire tower and dying. But that's okay, because in this world, dying and being gone are two different things. He's not dead. He's just in hell.
Yeah, he's just in hell where he meets with Victor Von Doom, like Doom himself. And that's his mother, right?
I'm assuming that's his mom, right? Because who else would Doom be hanging out with in hell?
Yeah.
Which honestly, at that point, it's like, oh, that's nice, actually. You're making the most of your hell trip there, Victor. Yeah, I'm dead, but I got to be reunited with my mom, so it's actually not that bad.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. Hey, you want to hang out with us, Steve? We're going to be playing some video games. You want to hang out? That also explains a very important thing where it's like, hey, why isn't Steve on any of these posters for Marvel Armageddon? Why isn't he part of this? Now we know, because he's in fucking hell.
He's in fucking... And that's... Now I know what it's going to be. It's going to be Armageddon, and then at the end, he's going to come back to life and beat Ross, and that's going to be the big triumphant moment. That's absolutely going to happen.
It's the rebirth of America, much like Jesus. Steve Rogers rose on the third day and beat the fuck out of Red Hulk. God, I want that moment so bad. I want, Steve to fight his way through hell to reach heaven and the one above all. It's like, come on, God, you fucking owe me. Put me back in the game. Oh, all right.
Yeah. I gotta say, like, Zdarsky writing Ross has just been so fucking good. He's so fucking hateable. So fucking hateable.
He really is. And you know what? It's funny. I made those references before where it's like, man, General Ross reminds me of someone. But the sad truth is Ross is actually more understandable and more three-dimensional in his pettiness than any actual real supervillain going around today.
And competent.
That too, yeah, he's actually getting shit done. And to hear Ross say, it's like, no, I want to kill Dr. Doom. He fucking tortured me and he turned my nation against me, man. This is all deeply personal. I'm like, well, that's a better reason than a lot of other people.
Yeah.
He's not doing it for like anything greedy where it's like, no, I want to get fucking paid, you know, I want big fat stacks. Like, no, this is about like patriotic honor, my guy.
Yeah, you wronged this guy and yeah, he wants to get back at you.
Yeah, you can't shred on me. You can't shred on the Red Hulk. And to him even say to Steve, where it's like, look, I'm doing what you and the Avengers never could. I'm stomping out evil in its crib, man. You know, let me work. Let me cook, bro.
Yeah.
But thank God he doesn't.
No.
Yeah, what a great way to make Ross this big event villain.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to what he's going to be like in Armageddon. The stuff we've seen of Armageddon looks great. Like him in, I've seen that one picture of him as Red Hulk in like a general's outfit. And I think he's like,
nice.
I think he's like killing Reed Richards or something.
Yeah, he went to the same guy who made Lyndon B. Johnson's big pants to make him his big general suit.
They had spares, yeah.
You gotta think, too, it's like he's got an army of Hulks now, but, like, what other people do you think could he eventually, like, coax to his side? Because you figure, where it's like, yeah, a Hulk challenged everyone during, like, World War Hulk, but he also had, like, the war band and everything. What secondary villains do you think are gonna flock to Ross's side?
Yeah, I'd assume he's gonna have his own version of, like I'm sure he's gonna have, like, a Dark Avengers, or, like, a new Howling
The USA
Commandos
Avengers.
or something. Yeah, the US, bring back the US Avengers, yes.
Yes, the USA
With the Red
Avengers.
Hulk, that wasn't Red Hulk. It was that other guy,
right?
Maverick, General Maverick. Yeah,
yeah. Which means the good guys need to get General Maverick back so we can have Red Hulk versus Red Hulk, which we never had. Also, again, this explains where it's like, damn, I bet you guys really wish you had your own Hulk to help you right now.
yeah. He's got to come back for this event, right?
Well, actually, Banner is also in hell right now, so maybe Steve will run into Banner in hell.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool.
Actually, wait, is he in real hell or is he in a Hulkscape? Because I know there's two different things, and they're doing, like, they've mentioned the World War Hulk event is going to actually be all the different Hulks fighting each other in Hulk space.
Yeah, maybe. And technically, is Steve actually in actual hell, or was that Doom saying "Welcome to hell," as in this is your personal hell? Sort of like, is this like a Doom?
Yeah, yeah. Because Marvel's always been weird with that, where it's like, well, there's Mephisto's realms, and there's many different versions of them. Then there's the actual Judeo-Christian hell, the place below all, you know, ruled by the one below all.
Yeah.
Which, oh god, that was another thing, too. Did you see Infernal Hulk actually has now an Infernal Avengers?
Oh, really?
Yes, oh god, yeah, Google Infernal Avengers. It's sick as fuck, actually. That's the thing that made me say, okay, I gotta start reading this shit right now, because that is the most heavy metal goddamn thing I have ever seen in my life.
Oh, shit, that's cool. Oh, man, that team looks fucking awesome. That's the Eldritch Abominations, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, right. Hey, can we recruit those guys to help us fight Ross? Steve, I'm back from hell and I brought some friends with me.
What's that giant brain with the eye thing? That's fucking awesome.
I haven't gotten there yet, but I'm like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah, I'm trying to think who would be on Ross's USA Avengers. He gets US Agent on his team. It's like, what? He made a good pitch. What?
Yeah, oh yeah, of course he'd get John Walker.
Well, what? I thought he made a good pitch. I thought he had some good points. What? Be like someone like Joe Garrison, the leftover Punisher. Be like, what? He reactivated my old military unit. I technically still work for the government, guys. Look, I need a paycheck. That's what I'm trying to think to him. Like, how many other, like, guys like that still technically work for the government who are, like, deeply mercenary?
Yeah, but a bunch of, like, Weapon X, Weapon Plus people that we haven't heard of for a while.
Oh, you know what? He gets the Prime Warriors because we've seen that in Annihilation. So he hires the Prime Warriors. You know, build me a new team. Build me some new guys.
Yeah.
Because we've seen before, you can't just trust mercenary labor. You can't just be hiring, like, Taskmaster and shit. I mean, you could, because he's technically also a Captain America villain, but, you know, he's a fucking punch clock villain. He doesn't believe in anything.
No.
Again, like a good Metal Gear villain, Ross is like, no, we need real patriots to fill this, role. Yeah, he needs to be like, goddamn, that villain from Modern Warfare 2. Tomorrow there will be no shortage of volunteers, no shortage of patriots. That's the energy he's bringing in. He's bringing in that Metal Gear Call of Duty villain energy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we mentioned that he's been fighting. Cap's been fighting Metal Gear villains throughout this entire run, and yeah, he's just Senator Armstrong.
Yeah, I will create a nation solely for Hulk Nation.
Hulk Nation, run by nanomachines.
Yeah, right. Oh my God, there aren't. Yeah, I kidnapped a machine smith because they actually work together. In the other one, he's building me nano machines. Actually, hey, he worked with, Deathlock, too. Deathlock was his buddy when they escaped Latveria. I've reinstituted the Deathlock program. I need hundreds of Deathlocks.
God.
Because on their own, they're cool, but they're also, like, really disposable.
Yeah.
Deathlocks as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's his team. He brings back together all the guys he was in jail with in Latveria is what he does, because they hate Doom, too.
Yeah, he's able to appeal to them really easily, yeah.
Yeah, right. It's like, you hate him, right? I absolutely do, actually. Silver Sable's on his team, too. It's like, well, Latveria actually keeps invading my country of Simkara, so actually, yeah, I guess I will be on your team. Hey, you made this deeply political, and now I have my own shit to say. What else was this week? Ooh, I read Barbara Gordon Breakout. Did you read Barbara Gordon Breakout?
I haven't yet. How is it?
Very fun.
Yeah.
Very fun. They do a great job. It's an excellent companion piece to the Matt Fraction Batman book, because they say, hey, this is actually part of the bigger ongoing war between the Bat family and Savage, because you find out, like, page 2, where it's like, well, how did Barbara Gordon get caught? I let myself get caught. I wanted to go to jail, actually, because they're not throwing me in Blackgate. Savage used his government connections in the same corrupt 1%ers who are, propping him up to build a brand new for-profit prison in the middle of Gotham Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Where he plans to lock up all his political rivals, cops who wouldn't bend the knee, prosecutors who have already come at him, and oh, look, some people have died mysteriously in jail, so I, Barbara Gordon, need to go undercover and solve these murders.
Nice.
It's a great setup.
Nice. I'm glad it's a bit more than, she just goes to jail.
Yeah, no, it's a much better setup. And of course, all the guards work for Vandal, and the inmates hate her not only because she got arrested for working with the Bat family, but she also has the famous last name Gordon, and they're like, hey, Gordon put me in jail.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So she's hated by everybody, and she has to, like, keep whooping ass everywhere on the friggin' yard in the lunchroom. It's like literally Shawshank Redemption. They just keep coming at her every minute of the day. Now, I'd like to tell you that Barbara fought the good fight and the sisters let her be. And I can, because this isn't Shawshank Redemption. She kicked all their fucking asses. Yeah, thankfully no one got violently sodomized in this movie. And thank God for that. The big stinger at the end is that after that whole day, she's only just getting taken to her cell, and her cellmate might be some sort of supervillain monster. We see fangs reflected in her glasses, but we don't actually see who her cellmate is.
Oh God! You say that it's going to be someone like Cheetah or something like. What's Selena up to these days? Catwoman.
Right.
Yeah.
Good question.
It'll be someone like that, like another female character she can like team up with and kind of bond.
Of course.
With, yeah. But I would like a giant monster villain. It'd be really funny.
Right. It's fucking Orca because she's in the ladies' wing.
Yeah.
What would be hilarious? It's Scandal Savage is what it is. It's Vandal's own daughter he locked up.
Oh, that'd actually fit really well. That'd fit really well.
Yeah, because they were working together in that shitty Gotham War, and then she disappeared, and she never showed up again in the Secret Six book. I would love the idea where it's like, yeah, I failed. My dad fucking locked me up. What a dickhead. Want to go after him? I know all his secrets.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, want to be cool-ass friends, Barbara Gordon? Which, man, whose terrible idea is that, we'll put Barbara and Vandal's daughter in the same cell? What an awful idea that would be. Maybe they'll kill each other. Yeah, but maybe they'll become fast friends and ruin everything. Did you think about that?
It was just a bureaucratic oversight. Like the paperwork got missed. Right. She was meant to be in the cell over.
Yeah, oh man, that's the problem with these fucking for-profit prisons. You're so busy sucking up all these government subsidies and contracts and everything, you don't actually pay attention to what you're supposed to be doing. How sad and true to life. But yeah, Barbara Gordon Breakout is great. I'm very much enjoying it, and it's, a Mariko Tamaki book that I don't think anyone's going to be able to fuck with, so that's nice.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. What else did you have, Matt?
I didn't really have much else. I've kind of read everything I've wanted to read so far, and we've talked about it already.
Yeah, I think I had everything too. I had Iron Man this week. I had the new Iron Man #5. This is the end of that first arc. Really fun. Joshua Williamson does a great job really cementing, Tony the Man as every bit as important as Tony the Armor. It's probably one of the best, Iron Man stories with actually a limited amount of Iron Man actually in it.
Yeah, I got to catch up on that book. I'm 2 issues behind.
It's solid. We have a new direction for AIM now, a new leader, and a mysterious Citizen V who is stealing Iron Man stuff and other hero stuff, and we don't know why. Seemingly they want Tony to quit being a hero because they care. Huh, I wonder.
I wonder.
It's goddamn Happy Hogan.
That'd be great. Yeah, Jarvis, the butler Jarvis.
Oh god, I joke, but actually that might actually be the case because we see Happy in a flashback, and I'm like, we haven't seen Happy in a long ass time in the Iron Man book. No. Actually,
no, he's not been around for a while.
What a crazy time to bring him back out and bring him back into form. I wonder. But yeah, I guess with that we can start winding down the show. Should we talk about what's coming out this week, which people can expect and get a chance to read?
Yeah.
Alrighty, then I'll do that right now. I should probably have had this up already, but I didn't.
I think it's a kind of a light week.
Well, that's good. Yeah, because we're nearing the end of the month.
Yeah, we got Absolute Green Arrow, of course.
Yes, that's the big one. The big #1 there. Absolute Flash 15. Batman Superman World's Finest 51. Amazing Spider-Man 29. Mushrooms. It's all about mushrooms. We got Lobo 3, we got Batwoman 3, Deathstroke 3, which is probably getting its own video, Punisher 4, Superman Unlimited 13, Wolverine Weapons of Armageddon #4, the big finale for that.
Yep, yeah, and we also have some type of Ultimates Reborn bullshit, whatever the fuck that's... I have no idea what any of that is.
No, especially now when it looks like they really are sticking a stake through the heart of that universe. I'm like, do I even care? Does it even matter?
Yeah, well, it looks like it's just going to be about Miles, I think, just kind of dealing with that incursion book and the origin boxes.
Yeah.
Chris Condon's writing it, which is like
you mean the worst one from this line?
Yeah, you mean Wolverine, who's not appeared in any of these Endgame books, even though he's on almost every cover.
Nope. Which confirms everything I ever thought about that book, that it was more important to have a book called Wolverine than it was having a good one or having it fit into any plan.
Yep.
That was a late addition. Also, Captain America is on the cover of this one, and we see Hostilicus in the background because we need to get over these new Origin Box characters, Hostilicus, and the TV version of Wonder Man and a few others. That's weird. Alias Red Band 3, which has actually been really good.
Nice.
Is that it? Yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, not a bad week. I will have to move some stuff around if I want to do 3 Marvels and 3 DCs. There are some stuff I'll probably have to kick down the road a little bit.
Nice.
Which is unfortunate.
Nice.
But yeah, so... yeah, that'll just about do it for us every week. Thank you, everyone, for coming out and watching. We hope you're doing well out there. We hope you're having a good Saturday. As always, this is the best way that you can see the show live. You can comment, you can get involved, you can donate. It's always much, much appreciated. Again, the show will be hosted right away on Patreon right after we try and get that out there. You can be on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. The show will continue to be living on YouTube on Matt's channel, which is the easiest way and probably the way it should always have been done. Yeah, thank you, everyone who has actually been watching it and enjoying it. We very, very much appreciate it.
Yeah. We're also over on Spotify, where you can watch the video and audio as well as it. Launches same time as the YouTube version, so you can pick and choose where you want to watch the show.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you, everyone, for that. Also, we're back on iTunes. Don't ask me how, but it fucking happened. I don't know. I'm pretty sure we're over there, too. People have stopped complaining at me about it, so I'm assuming that's working now.
Yeah, who still uses iTunes, man?
I mean, people with Apple devices.
Just use Spotify. It's easier.
I've never been an Apple person. Android for life. Yes, because it's easier to fucking pirate and mod and do shit.
Yeah, and it doesn't cost as much.
And doesn't cost as much. And also, hey, with Apple, we want you to get one device. That way you're tied to us forever, basically, for your pictures and for everything else. That's how they get you.
That's how they get you.
All right. That's how they get you. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We'll be back again next week, same time, same place. Be good, and we will see you again. Comic Multiverse out.